Hey guys, it's Dana, and I'm here to do a review for R&B Divas LA, Season 1, Episode 4. I'm gonna start doing some reviews on the shows that I like to watch, and let's see where it goes. I don't know, but I'm just ready to give it a try. So, I guess we can get into it. Bum, 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 bum. Ready for the spotlight, that's the reason I'm still here. The ups, the downs, the lies, the tears, I'm ready to face my fears. I don't even do that whole thing. I don't know. I believe in me and me and me and me. I'm a diva. Whatever. So we start off with Shantae Moore. She's having lunch with her friend slash manager Cheryl, and they're talking about when they were in Vegas and how Shantae was saying that she's not usually very good at making friends, so easily, and I can understand it because I'm kind of like that too. I get nervous and I'm shy, and you kind of have to get it out of me to start talking and sharing and opening myself up to people, so I can understand that. But she said that despite having difficulties at making friends with people, she had like a great time with the women in Vegas. She really did have a good time and she enjoyed herself. And she mentioned the whole Broadway and the Hood thing, and how Kelly didn't show up, and how that was a little jarring and unprofessional or whatever. But they move on from it. And she mentioned the monologues and how she's looking forward to them. I'm reaching for something right now. It probably looks crazy, but I'm trying to find my chopstick. She mentioned that she's looking forward to the monologues, and she's got a lot to share. It's like she didn't really know where to start or what all to say, because it's like so much that happens in life that you want to share with people. You don't know where to go with it. So Cheryl, her friend Cheryl, suggests that they find a producer or a director, someone that could come in and help Kelly develop the monologues, with his skills, with his what I mean, his experience in directing and producing. Shantae thinks that that's a good idea, and they go from there. So after that, we go to Claudette's house, where it's Claudette, Dawn, and Michelle. They're doing yoga, or trying to, because like the only person that was really there to work out was Claudette. And I can honestly see that maybe working out is something that Claudette uses as like a release or something like that. I mean, looking at Claudette on the show, it's like heartbreaking. Her eyes are so empty, and like she just seems so broken on the inside. She's such a beautiful girl, and really, beauty doesn't have much to do with anything, honestly, but she's so talented. And I know, like, seeing her back when she was with City High and everything, it looked like she was just one of those people where like the world was going to be hers, and she's just so blessed with her talent and everything. And I'm so surprised to see her at this point where she's just like completely broken, and I really hope, I'm like really looking forward to seeing a little more life come into her eyes as the show goes on. I don't know, I'm hoping that this is a way for her to find herself and get back on her feet, and just kind of find her blessing again. She's got those beautiful children, and I just really hope that she finds a way to be happy again, because she looks like she's been through it. I mean, the things that's happened to her. I really want to hear or see these monologues, because I'm genuinely interested in the stories of these women. I just am. I really am. I mean, I feel like with the Atlanta cast, some people I cared about, some people not so much, but I think that this monologue thing is a good idea, because hopefully if they're willing to share enough, we could really learn some things about these women that would really be interesting. I'd like to hear their stories. So anyway, they're talking about the monologues as well, and Dawn's like, I'm scared, and I don't know what to do, and I'm nervous, and I'm scared, because she's always scared of everything, and the other women are like, yeah, I'm nervous too. So Claudette mentions that she's going to take an acting class, and to try to learn how to, channel that inner actor in her so she can get up on stage and kind of share her story. And with Claudette, I can honestly see, like, I don't understand when people are just like, well, why do you need an acting coach? Why do you need to learn how to act when you're just telling your story? But with Claudette, you see her in, like, her confessionals, and even when she's talking to the women, her face is just like, yeah, well, I think about when I lost my virginity and like, that is, even if you have an amazing story to share, if you can't look like you care about the story, then it's really hard to get somebody else to care. So I kind of get her going out to find, just a little bit of help to hone in on that and just learn how to, to give it. Just learn how to kind of present it to other people, because you can always just sit there and talk about your story with no emotion and no feeling whatsoever. You're just repeating and regurgitating it, and that's not very entertaining. It's not very interesting, and it's really hard to even touch people's lives if you look like you ain't trying to be there, either. So I get that. And then Michelle mentioned, and Dawn sort of, I think mostly Michelle mentioned that Shantae may know some people that could help Claudette out with that. At first I thought Claudette was like I'm not trying to hear that, because she was kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll look into that, and she just looked like, why are you telling me this? But you'll see later on in the show that she actually did take Shantae up on that, and they go to see an acting coach. So then we go to I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Then we go to Shantae and Kelly. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kelly and her husband / manager are together. Well, Kelly's getting her hair and makeup done for whatever thing she's doing at the moment. And they're talking about her schedule. They're going over her schedule. I'm looking at the clock because I actually have to go out and take care of something. And I'm trying not to run out of time. And it's the second time I've had to do this video because I don't know what I hit. Still learning how to do this whole thing. And I just, stopped the video. I don't know how to patch things together. I'm still learning, so whatever. But they're talking about her schedule and how hectic it is. She's got 2 concerts in the next 6 weeks or something, and she's got to travel and go to all of these cities, and she's got rehearsal every single day, and she's got her open mic night and photo shoots, just a bunch of stuff. And she's got to do the monologues. She's got to make time for monologues, and she's just the ladies feel like I don't have enough time and that my schedule is too hectic and everything, but I know that I can do it and I can handle it and blah, blah, blah. And personally, I'm not thinking that it looks like she can handle it. It doesn't seem like she can handle any of that stuff. It's great to have that idea, and I know it's exciting to be like, oh, this will be great, and I know these women, I have them all lined up and everything, but if you can't handle it, then you can't handle it. But Kelly comes off as very, very arrogant to me. It's only 4 episodes in, so I could be wrong, but I never really wanted to do that whole, oh, this person is like this person and comparing to each cast member or whatever. But Kelly is dripping with Nikki Gilbert tease. I just can't. I'm sorry. There's no way to avoid it. It's she seems very controlling already, and she turns on that whole oh, praise God and I love you and you're my sister and it's such a blessing to run in you, but it's she'll chop your head off the next minute if you come out your mouth the wrong way. And I'm not feeling it. I'm not, because I've worked with people like that, and it's you. Now I'm not even gonna get on that until we get to that part, okay? But so she's going over the schedule with her husband. She's got a lot to do, and she's got to work in the monologues. Mind you, that's the main reason, the main premise for the show, for the season. So yeah, she's got to make some time to do it. Because we're not watching the show to watch Kelly not be anywhere. Even though I don't really mind if she's not there, but they need her for the show. So then they go to Kelly and Shantae, and they're walking and talking, somewhere in LA. And, Shantae is telling Kelly about, the idea that she got from Cheryl, and that maybe, she should meet with a producer or a director or someone to help her, develop the monologues. And she's so I'm going to meet with this gentleman. We're going to talk to him and see, what he can bring to the table. And Kelly just kind of looked from the gate, she was just I'm not very happy with that. I'm not comfortable with that. But not once did she say, I don't think I remember her saying, I have a person already. I don't think I remember her saying that she has someone or she wants anybody to meet someone. She kind of had an attitude. And if she did hint at the fact that she had somebody. She didn't really make it clear, okay, because I didn't catch that. And I'm pretty sure that if Shantae caught it, she'd have been like, okay, well, let's set that up. But it was really just like Shantae's like, I got this person and I want to meet with them. And she is like, whatever, I'm not happy, but whatever. So then we go to like Dawn and Claudette, and they're at Claudette's house. And this is like a little kind of meaningless, whatever, but I'll talk about it. They were just talking about the house and, you know, how beautiful Claudette's house is. It's nice and big, plenty of room for the kids and everything. And Dawn is saying how, you know, she's looking at Claudette and seeing how she's doing it with children, you know, and she feels that, you know, she would be able to do it too. And it's great that they both have this new beginning, you know, and just seeing Claudette do things, you know, on her own, she feels like she should be able to do it too, kind of take on this whole career thing and, you know, bring it back to life and, you know, possibly have a child as well. So Dawn talks about being nervous and being scared, because I swear every frame that girl is in, she's afraid of something and she's telling everybody she's afraid of it. I don't understand how everybody painted this girl to be such a super bitch and like this horrible person to work with, when she looks like she is afraid of her own shadow. I just don't get it. That's why she's just another story that I just want to know the truth though. I want to know like what's really going on with her, because and then she's talking, and I swear, just like everybody else is saying, she sounds like she's on some type of antidepressants or some mood stabilizers or something, and I know about those. And she's just like empty, but in a different way. Like she's a friggin' zombie. And she's nah. People don't usually sound like that on their own. You know, that's usually some type of chemical thing. But so she says she's gonna call on Kelly to help her because she doesn't really know what to do, and you know, hopefully Kelly can kind of guide her into, you know, where she needs to go with all of this. And Kelly, help! I'm scared. No, I'm not gonna say it. Okay, so then we get to Claudette and Shantae, and they're in the acting classes. So, you know, like I said, Claudette did, you know, take Miss Chalet up on her advice to go to Shantae and see if, you know, she could point her in the right direction for some acting classes. So they're in there together taking this class, and the coach looked a little crazy, but from what I've seen on like TV shows and on the reality shows and everything, these coaches, these acting coaches and everything, they always seem a little off and interesting. So and she was doing like, first she was giving them like a breathing exercise, and you know, Claudette felt like it was silly, but it usually does feel silly when you have to do those things, but after you've done them for a while and you start to see where you benefit from it, it makes sense. And then she had them, you know, kind of stand in each other's faces and emotionally dump on each other and talk about like everything that they were angry about, and you know, and get really like aggressive at each other. And Claudette, she's just, Lord have mercy, that poor baby. She's just like, I'm angry. Ugh. And it was like, she kind of started to get it together. You know, Shantae didn't seem to have a problem with it, but Shantae seems like a very animated person anyway. She is so full of life and she's so spunky that I don't really think that she needs somebody to tell her how to pull that out. If anything, she probably needs somebody to tell her how to calm it down from time to time. But they both did a good job together, you know, and I can never get with, yeah, I sing. And I could never get with being like in somebody's face. Like that whole, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like I can't do that. I got some serious personal space issues. You can't be all up in here. Like I got like, don't go no further than this. I can't. Don't. That's it. Matter of fact, move it out a little bit. I can't. But, you know, she made them hold hands and get in each other's faces to do that exercise. And they were okay. You know, they probably had breath mints, whatever. I don't know. But they worked it out. Me, I can't do it. But I'm not on TV, okay? So that was good. The coach said that they did well. And Claudette basically, you know, she says that she's like going to go hard in this whole industry and bringing back her career and everything. And failure is not an option. It's not an option. And I feel like I get that because, you know, in my place in life where I'm a mother of 2 children, I'm a single mother of 2 children, you know what I mean, and I've done things and made mistakes and made bad choices in my past, and now I feel like I'm at a certain point where my decisions have kind of painted me into a corner. And I can't just be like, oh, I can't do anything else. It's too hard. Like, you don't have a choice. You have to provide for your family. You have to make it work. You got to give everybody a life that you brought into this world. It is what it is. And it's hard because of the stuff that you did and where you brought yourself. But if you got to walk in that paint and get dirty just to be able to get somewhere other than that corner, then you just going to have to get yourself dirty. Because there's no other place to go. You either going to stand still and not get anywhere, or you're going to get your feet dirty and walk through the paint. It is what it is. So I get that. I feel that. I really, really feel where she's coming from. I hope that I don't look as dead in the eyes as she does. But I do feel where Claudette is in her life right now. I can understand it. I feel like I'm very, very close to it. I really am. Okay. But my story is something different. I get Claudette. I do. That's why she breaks my heart when I see her eyes. So we go to Shantae and Lil Mo, and they go to the studio to meet up with a producer, writer, director named Fred Thomas Jr. They just want to meet him up and kind of interview him for the monologues to see if he's any good. They start asking him some questions. Shantae's asking, like, are you into music? Like, do you have any type of musical background? He's like, oh yeah, I'm into music. I listen to it. And making jokes about how, his music career ended when he was 7 years old and he had to choose between music and watching Fat Albert or whatever, and Fat Albert won. Now, Lil Mo was a little hesitant. She's just like, having somebody who doesn't have a musical background, and we're 6 vocalists, we're 6, people who are in the music industry trying to tell our story. It is a little, jarring. Like, that will make you hesitate a little bit. Like, how are you going to understand us if you don't know anything about what we do? So I get that. But as he continued on, just explaining his vision for bringing the monologues together and what they had to do, it made sense. And honestly, when you're coming from not having anything that sounds a little, decent, is gonna make sense to you, because you ain't got nothing to work with as it is. Like, they don't have anything but a friggin' idea right now. So, if he can do that, even if he doesn't know the musical aspect, maybe somebody else can come in and do that part. But at least he can give direction, which is what a director does, to these 6 women who are just kind of bumbling around in the dark, not knowing what the hell they're supposed to do for this monologue thing. It's a great idea, but we don't know how to do it. So, Fred tells them to just, get started. Just find out what it is that you want to write about. I mean, what it is that you want to talk about, what you want to present, what story you want to tell. Just write it out, get it out there, and then bring it to him, and he'll check it out and try to clean it up a little bit. So that's what they do. Shantae loves them. She's like, you're hired. We need to meet the other ladies or whatever. And they go from there. Lil Mo, in her confessional, she's like, the only thing is, like, she knows how she works and she knows what she needs to do. But she was like, we talking about 6 completely different vaginas. And that's a whole lot of coochie to get in order. Which, I love Lil Mo. She's so crazy. So, Fred's going to have to step up to the plate because he wanted to deal with 6 different women, not just Shantae and Lil Mo. And that's the truth. So, Kelly and Dawn are at Kelly's house. And, Dawn's doing her whole, like, I'm scared, Kelly, and I don't know what to say, and I don't know how to tell my story, blah, blah, blah. And I swear, it's like Dawn don't even know how to wipe her own ass without somebody, telling her which hand to use. I can't with her. But, Dawn actually mentioned what I was saying a little earlier, how she's been painted to be this, like, horrible, horrible person. But she's so timid, and I just don't understand where she got this reputation from. So then, Kelly's like, well, I got an idea. I'm seeing you come in with smoke and lights and everything, and you're singing your song, and I'm thinking maybe you're going to sing, like, hold on. And then, like, halfway through the song, you're just like, no, stop, hold on. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this straight or whatever. And it's like, obviously, Kelly's been sitting on that idea since day one, because she just pulled that out like it was nothing. And of course, it's Dawn is like, oh, that's awesome. I don't have anything else anyway. So please, master, guide me. So we move on. Little Mo is at home with her family. I'm not crazy about this whole situation. I don't really. Anyway, she's at home. She's with her family. She's with her two sons and her husband. And they're talking about she's trying to get her husband to agree with moving out to LA. And her husband's kind of like, I don't know yet. Like, I'm not really big on doing this. Like, And he's like, the thing is that, I miss the girls. And, Mo, in her confessional, she's telling us that she has her two sons with her in LA right now, but her two daughters, who she had with her ex-husband, are still in Maryland. And her husband's basically like, a little iffy about moving the girls away from the father, which is kind of confusing because as Lil Mo tells it, their father ain't even involved in their lives and doesn't even do anything. But, the husband's like, he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers and start any fights or anything about moving the girls out. And, Lil Mo is like, well, I don't really see why they're there. I don't really see why this is all the way it is when I do everything anyway. And, maybe we need to do what we need to do, and get the ball rolling to get the girls out here, to get the girls with me or with us. So, the husband's like, well, you need to get a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. So they decide to do that. And the thing about her husband, it seems like he's finding every excuse he possibly can not to move out to LA. And, and Lil Mo is like, you just want to play it safe. You want to stay there because, that's safe or whatever. And she's like, you need to step out and take that chance so we can, get a better life, I guess. So she can catapult her career because it's LA versus Maryland. So Mo meets with an attorney named Keith Lowton, and she's trying to explain to him how her divorce was set up and how they have joint custody, but she's doing 100% of the work and she's handling all the finances, and she doesn't even have any contact with her ex-husband, and he doesn't pay any child support. So the attorney explains to her that she has to live out in LA for at least 6 months, and the courts have to be able to alert the husband, and let him know that the custody, thing is going on, and that Lil Mo wants full custody. If he doesn't do anything after that, then he's essentially giving up all his parental rights, and she can do whatever she want to do. So she's good with that. She's like, let's get it started, doing her thing. She seems nervous, but she's cool, and she's just ready to have her babies with her. Alright, so then we get to doing Lil Mo and Kelly. They're together, and they're at Kelly's house, and Mo is bringing up how they met with this director, and that she and Shantae, they thought that he was a really good fit. Kelly, here we go. She's like, oh, I need to meet him. Well, I didn't meet him. Well, what is all of this? Now, mind you, Shantae told her that they were going to meet with this guy, and now Mo is telling her that they met with this guy, and she's like, oh, okay, like, I'm not okay with that. I need to meet him. So, Dylan, of course, her little lap dog is like, oh, yeah, I need to meet him, too. I didn't get to meet him. I don't know. You don't know anything. Stop it. Anyway, so Mo was just like, like, Kelly had the idea and everything, but she ain't never around to follow up on anything, so what you want us to do? Just sit here and wait for you to find some time or whatever, like a bathroom break, to come and get this started? Like, we found somebody. So they say they want to meet with them. Okay, fine, we're going to meet with them. So the girls get to the studio, and it's Shantae and Mo. They're already there with Fred, who is the director. I don't know if I said his name earlier, but his name was Fred Thomas Jr. So they're there with Fred, okay? And then Claudette and Michelle come in. And, they're all meeting and stuff. Kelly and Dawn aren't there. Okay? So Fred starts the meeting. They sit in a circle, and he's telling them, like, what do you want to talk about? Let's start from there. So we go with Michelle, and she's basically saying how she wants to talk about her life cycles and how she's always going around and around, and she's done going around. Like, she wants to stop somewhere and get that going instead of going in circles all the time, okay? Claudette was struggling with what she wanted to talk about, and she brings up one of the topics that she was thinking about was when she was raped. And that was really, really heavy. And she was like, she wasn't really sure if she wanted to share it, but if it could help somebody, then she would do that. And then Shantae kind of tags along, kind of latches onto that too. And she's like, I want to talk about when I lost my virginity because I was a child at the time. And that was something that was really heavy. So Fred mentions that the women should kind of start with a subject that they all kind of have in common, just to kind of make it flow a little better. You know, the ladies like him. They do. They like what he's talking about. They like what he's bringing to the table. But of course, Kelly and Dawn aren't there. So we still got to figure out, how they're going to be. So Mo is meeting with her family and her daughters and everything, her parents and her daughters, talking about what she wants to do with moving the girls out to LA. I'm not feeling her husband because in front of everybody, he's like shooting down everything that she's saying. And I understand that he's not crazy about moving out to LA, but you're supposed to support your wife somehow, because you're just leaving her out there. And then he's kind of, it seems like he was kind of, leading everybody else into kind of shooting down her idea. And that's not cool, because, she just wants to establish her career and get it moving again instead of just sitting at home not doing anything. I understand where she's coming from. I kind of understand where her husband's coming from. But you don't just shoot her down like that in front of everybody. Like, what's that? I don't understand that. So she's just out there by herself. So then they go back to rehearsal. Well, the family wasn't sure about it. They said they got to think about it. It's not going to be like an overnight decision. So you get back to the rehearsal, and all the ladies are there, of course, except for Dawn and Kelly. But Dawn and Kelly eventually do show up. They're just late. And the rehearsal's already started, okay? Now, Fred is, talking, and he's got these exercises. The women are already doing it and everything. And then Kelly comes in, and she's like, she just walks in like, who is this dude? I don't know this guy. And okay. Like, you were told twice, all right? And you show up late. And then you're like, I don't understand why this guy is running the rehearsal and everything. Okay, well, who's supposed to run the rehearsal? Your little imaginary director? Like, ain't nobody there? Well, what do you expect? And she just walked in and got a straight up attitude from the gate. She was being nasty with the dude, with Fred, just being very confrontational, very unnecessary. He's just trying to talk to her. He's trying to explain things to her. Even offered, like, let's go, we can talk about it. Let's just do this first. She's really, really nasty. And that's where I see, I don't even want to compare her to Nikki Gilbert. I just see a nasty ass Kelly Price. And it's not really necessary to do that. And I don't know, if you got all of this stuff going on with your career and you're doing all of these things and making all these moves, the last thing you want to do is get on TV and look like a complete asshole, because ain't nobody going to want to support you anymore. Okay? Nikki Gilbert was a part of a group and she wasn't really doing nothing. But you're a soloist and you aren't really doing anything. Like, I don't get it. It's just, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, that's you. You're killing your own brand. And you can't do this. You can't have a platform like this and then just come off being a straight up bipolar ass psycho bitch from the gate while you trying to get something going that you think is a great idea and you need people to help you with. So eventually Fred just leaves because she's being so confrontational. She's not doing anything. She doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't want to go with any of the exercises. She's being real rude and nasty. So he's like, let me just step outside. Because the girls are like, what the fuck? Kelly is like, I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know him. I never met him. I didn't know he was here. And, Mo is like, the fuck? Like, I just got finished telling this chick a couple of days ago. I sat in her face. We were on camera. And I told her about this guy. But then she talking about she ain't never heard of him. She don't know him. And even Shantae was like, I told you about meeting him. You know what I mean? So where are you going to come up here talking about some... I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I'm not going to reveal my feelings to you. And the thing about that is, how you going to talk about you not going to share your deepest, darkest secrets with a man that you don't know from a can of paint, but you okay with doing it on a stage in front of 1 million people that you don't know? But moving on. So, Fred leaves. Shantae is like, what's going on? Like, this is real unnecessary. This is not working. Kelly's like, well, look, I'm busy. I don't have to do this, that, and the third. I had a director, and it's the guy, I forgot his name. The guy from the Broadway in the Hood. Now, Shantae just flat out came out like, I'm sure he's a great director and everything, but I don't know if I want him to be a representation of, something that I'm doing. And I don't blame her. Like, it's Broadway in the Hood, and like, these, I don't know if they want Grammys or not, I'm sorry y'all, but like these seriously well-known, well-talented women, who are out there and have a name for themselves. Like, the only way we know about Broadway in the Hood is because it was on the show. Okay, but we all know Shantae, we all know Michelle, we all know Dawn from Invoke, we all know Claudette, we all know, everybody. Little Mo, you know what I mean? And we know Kelly. So it's a very, very big difference between Broadway in the Hood and these women. So Kelly was still just nasty about it. Like, she's like, so we firing him? Like, no, we're not firing him because you weren't here, but he was. Like, he's gotten things done. It's just because you don't want to show your ass up for anything because you're doing too much doesn't mean that we need to throw all this away because now you're here and you power tripping. So Shantae is like, look, like I could do this by myself. I'm not gonna go backwards. You want to act like this, go ahead, but you know I'm already in it. Dawn pops up once again, lapdog, like what is us? Kelly's vision, and you know we're just a part of it. And you know Shantae's like, whoa, 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 boo, boo. No, like she can't do it without us. This may have been her idea, but she needs us for this idea to work. So I mean, it just kind of went on like that. Kelly basically was like, I'm going to get some coffee or whatever. I don't like the way she's acting. I don't. You know, I kind of heard from, you know, someone else who's on YouTube that, you know, the monologues did take place and that it wasn't all the women. I can't remember who actually did it, but I'm just disappointed at how this has come over, and I was really hoping that Kelly wasn't going to be this person, but she is. And the way she came in there and was just so nasty with this man for no reason. He didn't do anything. Just like Shantae and Mo said, like he ain't do nothing but show up for work. And she just went off on him. And then you talking about you got somebody for it. Like, where is he? You can't just have everybody standing still while you get this done whenever you feel like doing it. That's not right. Because you acting like these women aren't important and their time is not important. You know, and their work is not important. Like, you run things and that they're just your little minions. And that's not how it works. So I don't really know how far Kelly plans on getting with that nasty ass attitude. But, you know, we're going to see what happens next episode. If I missed anything, please let me know. Please comment below. I love you guys. If you think that I'm doing okay, let me know. If you think that I should change a few things in my review, this is my very, very first review. You know, just talk to me. Leave a comment or whatever and let me know. And if you like this, then like it and, you know, tell somebody else. Thanks, guys. Love you. This is Dana. I'm out. Later.